Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. The Meal on the Floss. If we talk about the time setting of one of George Eliot's famous novels, starting from the time setting of the storyline in this novel, which was adapted for a period 10 to 15 years, or the time setting of the story from 1829 to 1840. Events in the book after the Napoleonic Wars but before the reform of 1832. This novel details the lives of Tom and Maggie Tullivers, siblings who grew up at the Dorcote Mill on the River Floss. At the time, there was rampant gender conflict. Back then, the people embraced the norm where men more respectable than women. In addition, the year was the year when the economic crisis in the UK. The novel, which launched in 1960, actually has the same time setting as the novel, namely the same 19th era. But what distinguishes it is that at the time the novel was launched in the UK, it had eliminated the habit of gender differences, and the British state started its progression era. The writer attempts to provide a timeline for such a story, with the intention of criticizing the gender roles prevailing at the time.
In the Mill on the Floss, Mudport is a large city to which Maggie and Stephen Guest travel with the intention of marrying. Eliot experimented with different names for the city, and it is thought to be based on the real city of Hull. Most of the Mill on the Floss is set in and around the fictional town of St. Oaks. The name is made up, but in 1859, Eliot had visited Gainsborough in Lincolnshire with her partner George Lewis. The pair hired a boat and rowed several miles down the River Trent. Eliot was looking for somewhere with a river big enough to produce the sort of flood with which the Mill on the Floss ends. She had been disappointed by the river Frome at Dorchester, but found what she wanted in the Trent at Gainsborough. However, the landscape of the Mill on the Floss is not identical with Gainsborough. Dorcote Mill is based on Eliot's memories of her childhood in Warwickshire and of a visit she paid to a mill near Weymouth after she had started writing the novel.